Hello, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Can you guys hear now? Okay, I think everything is okay now. I believe you guys can hear me now. You all are welcome to today's live stream. God's time, Mr. Hear me. Also confirm you can see my screen. Okay, yeah, thank you. So let's get started by looking at the fundamentals. Okay, today is 27th October 2025. And the only major news we are expecting today, or that has been released today, is from Australia. That news was released by 9:15 a.m. Nigerian time. It's a speech from the governor of the Central Bank of Australia. Okay, that news has been released. That speech has been given. Okay, so that's the only major news for today's market. Okay, so let's go straight to the charts. So we'll start by analyzing DXY. We need to know the strength of dollar, and we use DXY to determine that. Okay, so we'll start by analyzing dollar index. Okay. So let's start with the weekly time frame. How last week candle close will determine the trend for dollar this week. The candlestick pattern, last week candlestick pattern will determine the direction for the dollar this week. So as you can see, last week candle closed as an indecision candle. That's a spinning top, right? That's a spinning top. And the previous week candle also closed as a bearish spinning top. Last week also closed as a spinning top. So let's go down to daily and see the pattern had on a daily time frame after the close of the, okay, so you can see the pattern we had on a daily time frame. We had doji, you can see we had a doji, and you can see, and this doji formed at a premium area. You can see it formed at a premium area, and you can see at that premium area we have a fair value gap, and you can see that gap has been filled. This tells me that dollar is set for sell. This tells me that dollar is set for sell. You can see that. You can see price pulled back to fill this fair value gap, and after filling the fair value gap, bearish reversal pattern formed. Okay, so today I'll be looking for opportunity to sell the dollar. I'll be looking for opportunity to sell the dollar. Okay, so let's go down to 4 hours and see what's happening. Okay, so you can see the pattern we had on 4 hour at the moment. The previous 4 hour candle closed as a spinning top. You can see it closed as a spinning top, which indicates change in trend from bullish to bearish. From bullish to bearish. Let's go down to 1 hour. 1 hour also. Wow, this is a bearish pattern, as you can see. This is a bearish pattern. We had a shooting star, and after the formation of this shooting star, if you go down to lower time frame, I'm sure a fair value gap was created after the formation of this shooting star, and a fair value gap. If you go down to 15 minutes, you can see the fair value gap it created this morning. Can you see the fair value gap? You can see price pulled back to fill that fair value gap, and you can see the pattern we have on on 15 minutes time frame. This is a bearish reversal pattern. You can see that. Now, 15 minutes time frame, after filling that fair value gap, you can see it's created a new fair value gap at this point. So you might want to wait for price to pull back to this zone before you sell. Okay, so that's my take on dollar today. I'm bearish on the dollar, and this is my target. I'm going to sell dollar from this zone, and my TP, my first target will be this previous low, which is an area of liquidity, will be my first target. So that's my take on the dollar today. I am bearish on the dollar. I am bearish on the dollar. I hope that is clear. If you have any question on this, let me know in the comment section. If there's any pair you want me to analyze, let me know in the comment section. Let's move to the next instrument, which is yen basket. Yen basket, just as we use the dollar index to determine the strength of the dollar, we make use of the yen basket to determine the strength of Japanese yen. Okay. If yen is bearish, we want to look for buys. We want to buy JPY pairs. If yen is bullish, JPY pairs. Okay. So let's start with the weekly time frame. So last week, yen was strongly bearish. Yen was strongly bearish last week. And you can see, I think yen just filled a fair value gap. Okay, that has not been filled completely. Okay, so I believe this week yen is going to fill this fair value gap. Yen is going to fill the fair value gap. Okay, so last week was strongly bearish, which indicates that it's likely to be bearish. Strong probability this week might be bearish. Okay, but let's go down today. Let's see what we have. And so we had this fair value gap on daily time frame. Price is trading below that fair value gap. Okay. So as you can see, JPY all through last week, yen was bearish, and I would love to see yen pull back to a premium area before going bearish on it. So we go by the higher time frame trend, the weekly and the daily time frame, yen is bearish. Yen is bearish, but I would love to see yen pull back to a premium area. Okay, selling at the current market price, I feel it's very risky selling at the current market price, because you can see from where price started dropping to the current market price is over 300 pips, over 300 pips. So it will not be wise to start selling from this level. Best to wait for price to pull back to a premium area before you sell. Okay. So my bias for the yen today is bearish. Sorry, bullish. My bias for the yen today is bullish. But for the week, my bias remains bearish. For the week, my bias remains bearish. Okay. But for today's market, I'd rather take a buy on yen. Okay, I'll be bullish on yen today. Okay. If you have any question, let me know in the comment section. If there's any pair you want me to analyze, let me know in the comments section. I hope you guys can hear me. Okay, so let's move on to currency pairs. We'll start by analyzing GBP USD. My bias on dollar is bearish. I should be looking for buy opportunity on GBP USD. Okay, so you can see daily time frame. Last week candle closed. This looks like an inverted hammer. It looks like an inverted hammer. Yeah, inverted hammer. Some will call this a spinning bottom. Okay, both candlestick indicates change in trend from bearish to bullish. So after the close of last Friday candle, let's see the pattern we had on 4-hour. So you can see what we had on 4-hour. This is a bullish reversal pattern. You can see on 4-hour, we also had a fair value gap at this point. Price, though that gap has not been filled completely, but there was an attempt to fill that gap last Friday. Okay. And if you go down to 1-hour time frame, let's see. So you can see the pattern we had on 1-hour time frame. We had a bullish reversal pattern on 1-hour time frame. First, we had a spinning bottom, then next candle doji. The next candle closed as a bullish candle, which indicates change in trend bearish to bullish. You can see the market currently trading above this fair value gap. That tells me that demand is increasing and supply is decreasing. Demand is increasing, supply is decreasing. So this is a buy opportunity on GBP USD. This is a buy opportunity on GBP USD. So let's go down to 15 minutes. Let's say, okay, so we have this fair value gap that has been created on 15 minutes time frame. You can see this gap. So I'd love to see price pull back to fill this fair value gap. This is where I will be considering buying GBP USD. I would love to see price pull back to this fair value gap before going bullish on GBP USD. I would also take partial entry at this point because the probability that price will pull back to this zone is not guaranteed. It's not guaranteed. And going by the pattern we have on the higher time frame, it's like GBP USD is set for buy. GBP USD is set for buy. Wait for price to pull back to this zone. What's the difference from this zone to this zone is about 20 pips, 20 pip, okay, 20 pip. And if you're buying GBP USD, your stop loss, you can see we have this fair value gap here that has not been filled. This fair value gap that has not been filled on 15 minutes time frame. I think we still have this gap also on 1 hour time frame. Your stop loss must be below this fair value gap. So your stop loss should be the low of this candle. This is 3287, 3287, 3287 from the current market price. That is on 50 pip stop loss, 50 pip stop loss. Okay, so that's my take on GBP USD. If you're buying from the current market price, your stop loss should be at this level. If that risk is too high, patiently wait for price to pull back to this zone. Bye. I hope that is clear. Good morning, Mr. Joseph. Good morning, Emmanuel. Okay, so that's my take on GBP USD. I am bullish on GBP USD, but I'd love to see price pull back to this zone before going bullish. I hope that is clear. Next pair is Euro USD. Okay, Euro USD also, you can see the pattern we have on Euro USD is similar to what we have on GBP USD, and that's because both pairs are positively correlated. So let's start with the daily time frame. So let's start with the weekly, sorry. Let's start with the weekly. Okay, so previous week we had what looks like a spinning bottom. We had what looks like a spinning bottom. So you can see that on the weekly time frame, Euro USD has been respecting the previous low. You can see we had a low here, we had higher low, higher low. So it's been respecting previous lows. That's an indication that demand is increasing and supply is decreasing. That's what it means. When the market keeps respecting previous low, it indicates that demand is increasing, supply is decreasing. When the market keeps respecting previous highs, it indicates that supply is increasing and demand is decreasing. Okay, so this is a bullish trend. Okay, this is a bullish trend. Let's go down to daily. So after the close of last week candle, you can see the pattern we had on the daily time frame. At this point, this was Wednesday, we had a spinning bottom, which indicates change in trend from bearish to bullish. And after the formation of this spinning bottom, you can see we had a retracement to 50%. We had a 50% retracement. Okay, so what we have on the daily time frame, you can tell that Euro USD is set for buy. Is set for buy. You would only consider selling if price breaks out from this support. Okay, that's when you should consider looking for sales. Price should break out from this support. Okay, but at the moment the market is trading above this support area, and I think if you go back here also, this level was a support in the past. This was a resistance. You can see it at this point on support. We also had this support here, you can see, which became a resistance. If you apply your horizontal line, you can see. So this is like a demand zone. Can you see? This is like a support zone. Price came, pulled back to that area, and you can see at this point also we had it as a support here. So this support level has been tested not more than 2 times. You can see more than 2 times. You can see that tells you that that level is a key support level. It's a key demand area. So if you're considering selling, you should wait for price to break out from this support. If price breaks out from this support, then it means they are coming to sweep these lows, this relative equal low, and this fair value gap. If price breaks out from this support, then we should expect Euro USD to sweep this low and also fill this fair value gap. Okay, so at the moment, EU is bullish. And if I'm buying EU from this point, 1.1634, stop loss 1.1634, stop loss at 1.1577. That's about 60 pip risk. That risk is too high. I would love to see price retrace. Okay, so for our, I would like to see it retrace back to a discount area. Okay, so we have this fair value gap that has not been filled. So I'd love to see it sweep this low and fill this fair value gap before going bullish. Okay, so that's my take on Euro USD. You can see that it has been in the range since last Friday. Euro USD has been in a range. You can see it's been in a range. So I'd love to see it retrace back. Okay, so on 15 minutes, let's see 5 minutes. Okay, so you can see this fair value gap. This would be a very good area to consider joining the trend. Okay, you can see it has created liquidity here. All these lows here are liquidity. Most retail traders have executed by after the formation of this bullish reversal pattern, and their stop losses will be residing at this previous low. So there's a high probability to sweep all this liquidity before going bullish. So if you're considering buying Euro USD, I would advise you wait for price to pull back to this zone before you buy. And if you're considering buying from, I just feel the risk is too high buying from this point. But if you insist on buying from this point, you should set your stop loss far below that area. Okay, your stop loss should be the low of this candle. Your stop loss should be the low of this candle. So you should calculate the risk to know the lot size to apply on that trade. Okay. Gold. I feel gold is currently sweeping liquidity. Okay, so just wait for a bullish reversal before you buy gold. My bias on gold is bullish. As you can see, gold just swept liquidity residing at this previous low. And they might also want to sweep the liquidity residing at this previous low. But this is not the right time to sell gold. You can't sell gold from the current market price. I think it has done over 400 to 500 pips. Am I correct? Even more than that this morning. It has done over, the opening was 948 and now it's trading at 37. That's about 400 and 520 pips. Yeah, 520 pips. So you shouldn't be considering selling gold from the current price. Look out for a buy setup, a buy pattern on gold. Okay, look for a buy pattern on gold. Let's see what's happening on 1 hour. Okay, look for a buy pattern on gold. Okay, gold is not set for buy yet. Just wait for a bullish reversal pattern to form before you take a buy on gold. And buyers on gold is bullish. Is there any other pair you want me to analyze? Let me know in the comment section. I hope you guys can hear me. Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me? Can you hear me? All right, all right, all right, all right, all right. Thank you. Is there another pair you want me to analyze? Let me know. Let me know. Is there another pair you want me to analyze? Let me know in the comment section. Let's look at GJ. So what can you see on GJ? What can you see on GJ? You can see, I think GJ just filled the fair value gap. You can see it just filled the fair value gap. You can see that. So we should expect a retracement on GJ. We should expect a retracement on GJ. Okay. You can see GJ just filled the fair value gap. So let's go down to lower time frame, daily. Last week closed strongly bullish, closed above this resistance. That's a breakout from the resistance, right? This is a breakout from resistance, breakout from this resistance. I'll look for opportunities to sell. I'll look for opportunities to sell if today's candle closed bearish. If it closes bearish, I'll look for opportunities to sell. To sell GJ. Okay, so let's see for our okay. So previous 4-hour candle, you can see we had this fair value gap on 4-hour. Price has filled that fair value gap. So this is a bearish reversal pattern on the 4-hour time frame. This is a bearish reversal pattern on the 4-hour time frame. Okay, so it has created a resistance. If you are considering buying, then you have to wait for price to break out from that resistance. You have to wait for price to break out from that resistance. Okay, so let's go down to 1 hour. Okay, so you can see on 1 hour, a fair value gap was created at this point. You can see a fair value gap was created at this point. So if you want to sell, I would advise you wait for price to fill this fair value gap before going bearish. Okay, wait for price. You can see if we go by 1 hour, with the pattern we have on 1 hour, you can see that GJ has been in the range. Since the market opened, it has been in a range. You can see that. So if you want to sell, wait for price to fill this fair value gap. Okay, if you want to buy, wait for price to break out from this resistance. Okay, look for buys above the resistance. Okay, look for buys above this resistance area. Okay, and if you're selling, like I said, look for sales after price fills this fair value gap, and you could aim for, you can see we have this sell side imbalance. You can see this sell side imbalance. You can wait for price to come fill. This should be your target if you're selling GJ. Okay, this should be your target if you want to sell GJ. This should be your target. Okay, best entry will be after price fill this fair value gap. The Max, good morning. I hope you guys can hear me. I hope you guys can hear me. Is there any other pair you want me to analyze? Let me know in the comment section. Do you have any question? Euro, Australian dollar. So Euro, Australian dollar, as you can see, it's been bearish. Euro, Australian dollar is bearish. 2 weeks ago, you can see 2 weeks ago, the candle closed as a shooting star 2 weeks ago. And last week, candle closed bearish. This is a bearish reversal pattern. And it closed bearish after testing this resistance zone. It closed bearish after testing this resistance zone. You can see this zone. And you can see it closed below this supply zone. It closed below this resistance zone. So at the moment, Euro Aussie is bearish. Euro Aussie is bearish. You'd only consider buying if price breaks out from this resistance level. Okay, so Euro Aussie is bearish and it's likely going for the liquidity residing at this previous low, which is about 80 pips from the current market price. 80 pips from the current market price. Okay, but let's go down to lower time frame and see what's happening on those time frame. Daily. Okay, so daily also you can see the pattern we had on the daily after price tested the resistance area, the shooting star. You can see it's a shooting star indicating change in trend from bullish to bearish. And you can see Euro Aussie has been bearish after the formation of this shooting star. You can see it has been bearish and it's still bearish at the moment. Let's see 4 hour. So you can see 4 hour also. You can see the pattern that formed there. This is a spinning top. You can see this is a spinning top candle. And this candle engulfed is trading below the low of this bullish candle. Okay, that's to tell you that the bears are overpowering the bulls. The bears are overpowering the bulls. You can see that too. You could wait for price to pull back. If you go down to 1 hour, you can see it has created a fair value gap here. You can see this fair value gap has created on 1 hour time frame. Okay. So you might want to wait for price to retest this fair value gap. Okay, you might want to wait for price to retest this fair value gap because I know most retail traders have executed sell after the formation of this pattern and their stop losses will be residing at this previous high. So they might want to sweep this high before going bearish. Okay. So if you're going to take any trade, you want to sell Euro Aussie, your stop loss should be this relative equal high. It should be your stop loss. Okay. And your target, take profit, your first take profit target could be this fair value gap. Okay, your first take profit could be okay. We have this fair value gap here. Okay, That should be your first TP. That's like 1 to 2 risk reward. This is 7623, 7752. That's about 130 pips, 130 pips. And if you're selling from this point, you set your stop loss at this point, that's about 60 pips. So you're risking 60 for 130 pips. That's like a 1:2 risk reward, 1:2 risk reward, which is okay. Okay, but you could patiently wait for price to pull back to this fair value gap before you sell. That would help increase the risk reward. That would help increase the risk reward. So I think that will be all for today's session. If there are any questions, do you have any question? Is there any other pair you want me to analyze? Let me know in the comment section. Let me know, let me know, let me know. Mr. Emmanuel, Mr. Peps, Gostine, Mr. Jimo, the Max. If you have any question, let me know. Do you have any question? Any question? Any question? Okay, it appears there are no more questions. Okay, no question from Mr. Joseph. Okay, no question. Okay, so I want to appreciate you all for your participation. Please, if you're here to give the video a thumbs up, please give it a thumbs up so that others can get to see this video. And if it's your first time joining the live stream, please do subscribe to the channel so that anytime I come on live, you get notified by YouTube. You don't want to miss the next session. So please do subscribe to the channel. Okay. And if you're yet to give the video a thumbs up, please give it a thumbs up so that others can get to see this video. You can also share the link with other traders. Okay, share it on your status, on your Forex trading group. Just share it so that others can get to see the video. I really appreciate you all for your participation, and I wish you all a profitable trading day. Bye for now.